In this video, I'm going to discuss the most important 15 PMP Agile questions. Why I'm saying these are very important? Because we have handpicked these questions so that when you are practicing these questions, you will be getting a good overview about Agile concepts as well. So that is the reason I'm saying these questions are very important. So without wasting any time, let's get started. Hey guys, my name is Gautham Sudakar. I'm working as head of training department with EduHubSpot. Before I start explaining these 15 questions, I'm going to place a very humble request. My humble request to you is please do these 15 questions as a test. So what do I mean by that? I will be showing you a question. Please pause my video. First, you try that question and then select an answer and then watch my explanation by resuming the video so that you can see whether the option that you have picked is correct or not. Do the same for all 15 questions that we are going to discuss as a part of this video so that at the end of the video, you can evaluate yourself. Out of 15, how many questions you have did right and how many you did wrong. So let's not waste any time. Let's get started with question number 1. An agile project is currently in the execution stage. This project consists of 6 different teams located virtually and in different time zones. In a sprint review meeting, a working product is presented by one of the teams to the product owner. After seeing the working product, the product owner proposed to change the weight of the product. As a project manager, what should be your next step? So what I understood from the question is an agile project is currently in the execution stage and the project consists of teams located in different countries and in different time zones. In a sprint review meeting, a working product is presented by one of the teams to the product owner. By seeing the working product owner has proposed some changes. And what changes product owner is proposing? Product owner is asking to reduce the weight. So what was asked in the question, as a project manager, what should be your next step? Let me read the options. Option A, make sure the change is documented and follow the change control process. Kindly be aware, for an agile project, there is no change control process. Change control process is only for predictive project. So option A, it's not a good choice. Let me read option B. Together with the product owner, add the change proposed to the product backlog and prioritize. Option B, it's an excellent choice. Any changes happening in an agile project has to go back to the product backlog and it should get prioritized based on value, and that is the responsibility of product owner. And by doing option B, we are exactly doing that. Considering option B, I'm eliminating option A. B looks like a good choice for me. Let me read option C. Implement the change in the upcoming sprint. Strict no. Any changes, as we already discussed, should go back to the product backlog. For me, still B stands best. I'm eliminating option C. Let me read the last option, which is D. Add these changes to the sprint backlog so the team can do an estimation. For the same reason why I eliminated option C, I'm eliminating D as well. Any changes should go back to the product backlog. For this question, my pick would be option B. Let's move on to question number 2. You are part of an agile project. You and your team do not understand the needs of the customer. Because of this, the customer is rejecting all the user stories. Which of the following options reveals how these conflicts could be prevented? So what I understood from the question is, I am part of an agile project. Me and my team are not understanding the needs of the customer. Because of this, customer is rejecting all the user stories. What was asked in the question? How this situation could have been prevented? Let me read the options now. Option A, make sure that the product owner explains to the team the rationale behind the requirement workflow. See, nowhere in the question it is stated requirement workflow is the problem. What is the actual challenge you have in the question? You and your team are not understanding the needs of the customer. That's the challenge. Option A, it's not giving solution. So A, it's not a good choice for me. Let me read option B. Require the team to move a story to blocked items in the Kanban board based on their concerns about progress. When you are reading an option, you should ask yourself whether that option is giving the solution to the problem what you have in the question. How moving a story to the blocked items will give solution for you to understand the needs of the customer. Definitely option B, it's not solving the problem. B is a bad choice for me. Let me read option C. Mandate the product owner to participate in daily stand-up meetings. See, daily stand-up meetings, it's a kind of daily planning meetings. When you're mandating the product owner to participate in the daily stand-up meetings, with that you can't understand the needs of the customer better because that meeting is a daily planning meeting. So option C, it's also not a good choice for me. Let me read the last option, which is D. I have high hopes on D. Make sure the product owner can be easily approached to help answer the team's concerns and queries. This is an excellent choice. So who is product owner? Representative of the customer. Now, when you are making sure that a team can easily approach the product owner to address their concerns and queries, with that team can understand the needs of the customer better. Option D, it's really giving the solution to the challenge what you have in the question. So for this question, my pick would be option D. Considering D, I'm eliminating the other three options. Let's do question number 3 now. A project manager of an agile team has many stakeholders who are distributed across 5 different time zones and located in 5 different countries. All the meetings the project manager is conducting with the team are extended because the team is not conducting themselves well in the meetings. As a project manager, how should this situation be handled? So what I understood from the question is a project manager of an agile team has many stakeholders who are distributed across different countries. Every time the meetings are conducted by the project manager, meetings are extending than the scheduled time, because the team members are not conducting themselves well in the meetings. So what was asked in the question, as a project manager, how will I address? Let me read the options now. Option A, collaborate with the team and update the team charter with the necessary guidelines. This is an excellent choice. From the question, it is very clear the root cause of the problem, which is the root cause why the meeting is getting extended is team members are not behaving well in the meetings. By doing option A, you are updating the necessary meeting guidelines in the team charter, means you are making a ground rules for the meeting. With that, team will start behaving well in the meetings. Option A, it's giving solution. A, it's an excellent choice. But I don't want to conclude A is my pick without reading B, C and D. Let me read B now. Start using the Kanban board to discuss the iteration review meeting. Nowhere in the question we are talking about iteration review meeting. So option B, it's actually an irrelevant option. So B is eliminated. For me, still A stands best. Let me read option C. Limit the team members to only ask 2 questions during the meeting. See, you can't limit people, So option C, it's not a good choice. For me, still A stands best. Let me read option D. Come up with a scrum of scrum approach. See, when you have a big teams, definitely you can come up with a scrum of scrum approach. But if you carefully read the question, the actual problem is behaviors in the meeting. So that will be addressed when you're creating team charter. For this, you don't want to go for scrum of scrum. Option D is also eliminated. For this question, my pick would be option A. Okay, it's a time to do question number 4. An agile project has faced a lot of defects. Upon investigation, it becomes clear that the wrong design of the product resulted in the defects. The project manager notices the agile team happened to resolve their problem a month before. Which of the following measures could the agile team have taken to prevent this? So what I understood from the question is an agile project has faced a lot of defects. Upon investigation, it's becoming very clear the wrong design of the product has resulted in these defects. And you as a project manager is noticing the agile team happened to resolve these type of defects a month before. This means the same defects which are resolved before, it's again repeating. So what was asked in the question, how you could have prevented this? Let me read the options now. Option A, by documenting the malfunction in the lessons learned register. This is an excellent choice. So 1 month before, when agile team were solving those defects, when they could have documented their experience in the lessons learned register, they would have implemented some preventive actions, and that preventive actions would have prevented the same defects occurring now. Option A, it's an excellent choice for me. Let me read option B. By raising formal change request. Nowhere in the question we are talking about change request, so B is eliminated. For me, still A stands best. Let me read option C. By conducting an effective sprint retrospective meeting. This is a very good choice. In Agile project, what is the purpose of conducting sprint retrospective meeting? We will be discussing what went well, what not went well in that sprint, and we'll be coming up with corrective and preventive action. And that preventive action will make sure that the same problem is not getting repeated in the future. So now, 1 month before, the same defect, agile team members solved it, right? At that point in time, when they would have conducted an effective sprint retrospective meeting, definitely they would have introduced some preventive measures, and that would have prevented this particular problem what they have. I'm comparing A and C. Both are good choice, but C is a better choice for me because we are talking about agile project. In agile project, sprint retrospective meeting gets priority. Option A is eliminated. Let me read the last option, which is D. Deprioritizing the stories related to the design document. This option is completely irrelevant, so I'm eliminating option D as well. For this question, my pick would be option C. Let's do question 5. You join as a project manager of an agile project. One of your team members said that the daily stand-up meetings are always extended by more than 15 minutes. You are attending a daily stand-up meeting, and one of the team members comes up with a technical issue that he is facing, and the team members started discussing the resolution of the technical issue. As a project manager, what should you do? So what I understood from the question is, I'm working as a project manager for an agile project. One of my team members is saying that, daily stand-up meeting are always getting extended by more than 15 minutes. So as a project manager, I'm attending one of the daily stand-up meetings, and what I am observing is one of the team members coming up with a technical issue, and the team started discussing the resolution of the technical issue in the daily stand-up meetings. So what was asked in the question, as a project manager, what should I do? Option A, facilitate the daily stand-up meeting and help the team members to find the solution. No, very bad choice. Kindly be aware, in the daily stand-up meeting, resolution of any problem will not be discussed. Only team members will be communicating issue. Resolution should be always discussed outside the daily stand-up meeting. Let me read option B. Coach the team on the best practices of conducting daily stand-up meetings. This is an excellent choice. You as a project manager, you are an agile coach. Here, team members are not following the right practices of the daily stand-up meetings. As an agile coach, you must coach them. You must coach them saying resolution of the issue should not be discussed in daily stand-up meetings, and it should be discussed outside the daily stand-up meetings. By doing option B, you are coaching the team. This is an excellent choice. Considering option B, I'm eliminating option A. Let me read option C. Have the team collaborate with the subject matter experts and the product owner to find a resolution. Again, for the same reason why I eliminated option A, I'm eliminating option C as well. Here, you should not find any resolution in the daily stand-up meetings. Let me read the last option, which is D. Don't do anything. I don't want to read this option further because not doing anything is shying away from your project responsibilities. You as a project manager, you are a servant leader. When team members are having some problem, you have to help them in solving the problem. Option D is eliminated. For this question, my pick would be option B. We have completed 5 questions. Still, we have 10 more questions to practice. I hope you guys are enjoying. Let's keep the same momentum going. Let's get started with question 6. You are in a meeting in which the team showcased the functionality of the latest increment. During the second half of the meeting, you are focused on which discussion? So what I understood from the question is, you are in a meeting, and in that meeting, the team members are showcasing the functionality of the latest increment. What was asked in the question, in the next half of the meeting, what we will do? Now let's try to find out in which meeting we are. So from the question, it is very clear the team members are showing demo. Demo will always happen in the sprint review meeting. So what was asked in the question, once the demo is completed as a next step, what will happen in the sprint review meeting? Let me read the options now. Option A, discuss potential stories that should go in the next iteration. This is an excellent choice. And this will happen, in the second half of the sprint review meeting. Once the demo is completed, the complete Scrum team will discuss, what can be the potential stories that can go to the next iteration. So I'm very much convinced with option A. This is an excellent choice, but I don't want to conclude A as my pick without reading B, C, and D. Let me read option B. Discuss why the team didn't complete some of the items as committed. See, nowhere in the question it is stated team did not completed some of the items. So option B, it's completely irrelevant. I'm eliminating option B. Let me read option C. Discuss the lessons learned from the events that happened during the iteration execution. So option C is not a good choice because option C is something will happen in sprint retrospective meeting, not in the review meeting. So C is eliminated. Let me read option D. Decompose the user stories to be delivered next into smaller tasks, each of which is 1 day or less. See, decomposing the user stories into tasks will happen in sprint planning meeting, not in review meeting. So option D is also eliminated. For this question, my pick would be option A. Let's practice question number 7. Your organization is transforming to agile ways of delivering projects. Your project is one of the few projects selected for the pilot program. Your team is attending their first daily stand-up meeting in which they answered the 3 required questions and asked you for your suggestion or changes they should be doing to their tasks. What should you do? So what I understood from the question is my organization is transforming to agile ways of delivering projects, and my project has been selected as a pilot program. My team is attending my first daily stand-up meetings, in which they are answering 3 questions. After that, my team members are asking my suggestion on how they should be doing their task. So what was asked in the question, considering this, what I should do as a project manager? Let me read the options now. Option A, guide the team since they are self-organizing and are fully responsible for the delivery. Hence, they should make their own decisions. This is an excellent choice. Kindly be aware, in Agile project, the team members are self-organizing. Who should do the task and how they should do the task, everything they have to decide. So what your team members are asking, they are asking what changes they should be doing in their task. This is something they have to decide because they are self-organizing. A, it's an excellent choice for me. Let me read option B. Guide the team about the Scrum values and principles and how they are important for sprint deliveries. See, nowhere in the question, it is mentioned that team members are not respecting the Scrum values. So option B, it's completely eliminated. It's not a good choice. For me, still A stands best. Let me read option C. Share with the team some of the changes that they should be making, which will help them to be more efficient in deliveries. No, you should not do it. As I already stated, team members are self-organizing and they should decide what changes they can do in the tasks. So option C is also eliminated. Let me read the last option, which is D. Nothing. This is the first sprint. You didn't notice anything to improve things. Again, for the same reason why I eliminated other options, I'm eliminating option D as well. So team members are self-organizing. When they don't want to do any changes, also that decision has to be taken by the team members, not you. You should not suggest anything. So D is eliminated. For this question, my pick would be option A. Now it's time to do Q8, which is question number 8. An agile team is confused about how many sprints they have, the sprint durations, and the high-level features that need to be implemented in each sprint. The team asked the product owner about this, and the product owner showed the product backlog. As a project manager, how should you react to this situation? So what I understood from the question is an agile team is confused with how many sprints they have in the project, sprint duration, and the high-level features that needs to be implemented in each sprint. They need these data. So team members are asking these data to the product owner, and product owner is showing the product backlog to the team members. So what was asked in the question, as a project manager, how will you react? Let me read the options now. Option A, facilitate the sprint planning meeting to define sprints, sprint durations, and high-level features. No, in sprint planning meeting, you won't define sprints, durations, and high-level features and so on. No. Option A, it's not a good choice for me. Let me read option B. Coach the product owner on how to better do product backlog grooming. See, nowhere in the question it is stated product owner is doing bad backlog grooming. So option B is not giving solution. Let me read option C. Discuss this in the sprint review meeting. Sprint review meeting, it's only for demo purpose. It's not giving solution to the problem what we have in the question. Let me read the last option, which is D. Collaborate with the product owner and team to facilitate the release planning meeting. This is an excellent choice. Only in the release planning meeting, we will create release schedule. Only at the time of creating release schedule, product owner and development team will together decide how many releases we are going to make, sprints duration, number of sprints, high level feature that will go in each sprint. These things will be decided in release planning meeting. By doing option D, team members will definitely get all the data that they asked product owner. Considering option D, I'm eliminating A, B, and C. So for this question, my pick would be option D. Let's do 9 now. An agile team came up with an innovative solution that will increase the competitive advantage in the market. However, you identified that implementing this solution will impact the business case of the project. As a project manager, what should be your response? So what I understood from the question is an agile team came up with an innovative solution that will really increase the competitive advantage in the market. And however, you as a project manager identified implementing this solution will affect the business case of the project. So what was asked in the question, considering this as a project manager, what will be your response? Let me read the options now. Option A. Explain to the team the impact on the business case and help the team to change the solution. No, this is not a good choice because from the question it is very clear this innovative solution will give competitive advantage in the market, right? Just because it is affecting the business case, you cannot say that you change the solution. No, it's not a good choice for me. Let me read option B now. Ask the team to implement the solution in the upcoming sprint. See, since it is affecting the business case, just like that, you can't ask the team to implement the solution in the upcoming sprint. So option B, it's not a good choice for me. Let me read option C. Discuss with the project sponsor about the potential impact to the business case. This is an excellent choice. Business case is created by project sponsor. Project sponsor is the owner of business case. When any solutions or features, if it is affecting the business case, you must consult project sponsor. Considering option C, I'm eliminating A and B. So for me, C stands best. Let me read the last option, which is D. Don't do anything. I don't want to read the statement further. Not doing anything is shying away from your responsibilities. Option D is eliminated. For this question, my pick would be option C. Okay, let's do 10th question. A project manager recently joined an organization. An external project sponsor of the organization decided to quickly expand the product portfolio to meet the increasing market demand. To do this, 2 or 3 agile teams will be formed with multiple team members possessing different skill sets, each of which will be dedicated to different product lines. The output continually drops with increasing defect rates across all teams. As a project manager, how will you respond? See, this question has a lot of garbage statement. What was asked in the question is very simple. You are a project manager, joined an organization. In your project, output continually drops with increasing defect rates across all teams. Means you are finding more defects. As a project manager, what will be your next step? That's what asked in the question. Let me read the options now. Option A, undertake a root cause analysis in the next retrospective for the defects identified. This is an excellent choice. Whenever you are identifying defects, the first step you must do is root cause analysis. And that's what you're doing. Option A, it's a very good choice for me. Let me read option B. Increasing the testing team members so they can identify more defects. See, nowhere in the question it is stated testing team members or not identifying the defects. That's not the problem. So option B, it's not giving solution. B, I'm eliminating. For me, still A stands best. Let me read option C. Document this as a change and follow the change control process which is mentioned in the change management plan. Nowhere in the question we are talking about change. We are talking about defects. So option C is also eliminated. Let me read the last option, which is D. Facilitate team building activities between agile teams. Team building activities you will conduct only to build personal bonding between team members. Nowhere in the question it is stated personal bonding is missing. So option D is also eliminated. For this question, my pick would be option A. Here we are. We have completed 10 questions. Still we have 5 more. I hope you guys are enjoying these questions. Yeah, let's do 5 and let's complete our session. Let's move on to Q11 now. Means question number 11. You are facilitating a ceremony in which the team has just finished writing the goal that would be achieved in completing the upcoming sprint. What should the team do as a next step? So what I understood from the question, I am facilitating a ceremony in which my team members have completed writing the goal that would be achieved in completing the sprint. So what was asked in the question, what is the next step? First, let's try to identify in which meeting you are. We will be writing the goal that needs to be achieved in that sprint or in the upcoming sprint only in sprint planning meeting. So what was asked in the question? In the sprint planning meeting, once the goal is written, what is the next step? Now let's read the options. Option A, the team should review the goal with product owner. Not necessarily. Team don't want to review the goal with the product owner, but as of now, let me keep it. Not a bad choice, by the way. Let me read option B. The team should meet with the users to ensure that they are doing the right thing. Why they want to meet with the end users? No, at this point in time, it's not necessary. In sprint planning meeting, this won't happen. At least I can do option A. So B is eliminated, considering option A. Let me read option C. The team should pick the stories to be delivered in the sprint. This is an excellent choice. In the sprint planning meeting, once the sprint goal is written, the development team will pick user stories from the product backlog and they forms the sprint backlog. C is an excellent choice. Considering option C, I'm eliminating option A. Let me read the last option, which is D. The team should break down the user stories into tasks that will be accomplished in the sprint. First, C will happen. Team will pick user stories. Only after that, D will happen. In the PMP exam, always pick an option you will do first. First C, then D. So D is eliminated. For this question, my pick would be option C. Let's do question number 12. In a sprint retrospective meeting, your team member informed you that the customer is asking a lot of queries on how to operate the product. Because of this, your team was not able to complete the committed user stories in the past 2 sprints. Your team came up with a solution and the solution is creating a user manual. As a project manager, what should be your next step? So what I understood from the question is, I am in a retrospective meeting. In that, one of my team members informed me the customer is asking a lot of queries on how to operate the product. Because of that, my team members could not able to complete the committed user stories in the past 2 sprints. And in the retrospective meeting, my team members came up with a solution and the solution is creating user manual. So what was asked in the question, as a project manager, what will be my next step? Let me read the options now. Option A, coach the customer on the advantage of making minimal documentation. Nowhere in the question it is stated customer is asking for comprehensive documentation. If that is the case, I would have went with option A. Option A, it's not a good choice. Let me read option B. Together with the product owner, add the creation of user manual to the product backlog and prioritize. This is an excellent choice. In this sprint retrospective meeting, when any corrective or preventive actions are defined, that will go back to the product backlog and it will get prioritized based on value and risk. And product owner will do it. And by doing option B, you are collaborating with the product owner and you are putting this creation of the user manual, which is a corrective action, to the product backlog and product owner is prioritizing it. B is an excellent choice. Considering option B, I'm eliminating option A. Let me read option C. Implement the change in the upcoming sprint. No, you should not do it. you should do option B. You cannot implement the change in the upcoming sprint. C is also eliminated. Let me read the last option, which is D. Add these changes to the sprint backlog so that the team can do an estimation. No, any changes should go back to the product backlog and it should get prioritized based on value. Option D is also eliminated. For this question, my pick would be option B. Now it's time to practice 13th question. In a project steering meeting, one of the key stakeholders claimed the project would not provide any value to the organization. Because of this stakeholders' feedback, the entire meeting environment becomes negative. As a project manager, how will you handle the situation? So what I understood from the question is, in one of the project steering meeting, one of the key stakeholder is claiming that this project will not provide any value to the company. Because of this, the entire environment become negative. So what was asked in the question, as a project manager, how will you handle the situation? Good. Let me read the options now. Option A, present the project charter and explain to the key stakeholder that the project was officially authorized. Okay. See, for any problem, kindly pick an option that gives solution. Why the entire environment become negative? Because that stakeholder is saying this project will not provide any value to the organization. Now you want to convince that stakeholder by saying that no, this project should give value to the organization. How by doing option A you will convince the stakeholder? No, it's not a good choice. Let me read option B. Escalate this matter to the project sponsor. No, when you are doing this, you are shying away from your project responsibilities. When a stakeholder gets resistant to your project, it's your responsibility to make that stakeholder supportive, not project sponsor. Option B, I'm straight away eliminating. Let me read option C. Guide the product owner to solve this issue. See, why product owner has to solve this issue? Okay, let me keep option C. It's not a bad choice, but let me read the last option, which is D. Present the business case and try to influence the key stakeholder. This is an excellent choice. In business case, you will be having how much investment it will go on the project and what is the value that this project will give to the organization. And what that stakeholder is complaining, this project will not give any value to the organization. Take the business case and show it to the key stakeholder saying that, hey, this project will give this much value to the company. With that, you can convince that stakeholder. Option D is an excellent choice. By considering option D, I'm eliminating A and C. For this question, my pick would be option D. So let's do 14. I'm very much excited. Still 2 more questions. The product owner of a strategically important project is unhappy because a lot of user stories the team has presented did not meet expectations. The team did a root cause analysis and found out the small tasks which are necessary to complete the user stories were not performed. As a project manager, what would you suggest to the team as corrective action? So what I understood from the question, the product owner of a strategically important project is unhappy because that person is saying lot of user stories the team presented did not meet the expectations. Team did a root cause analysis and they found out lot of small tasks that are necessary to complete the user stories were not performed. So what was asked in the question, as a project manager, what corrective action you will suggest? So kindly be aware, for any problem, you must identify a root cause and you have to come up with a solution. With that, you should address the cause. So what is the problem we have in the question? User stories did not meet the expectations. What is the cause of the problem? Lot of small tasks that needs to be completed were not completed. Now let's pick an option. With that, let's try to address the cause. Means let's make sure that the small tasks are getting completed. Good. Let's read the options. Option A, define a ground rule stating the product owner should prioritize the product backlog frequently and that small tasks should be captured in the product backlog. No. In product backlog, you will have user stories, not tasks. So option A, it's not a good choice for me. Let me read option B. Add the small tasks with either the DOD. This is an excellent choice. When you're adding this completion of small task as one of the point in the definition of done, team members will make sure that they are completing these small tasks. Considering option B, I'm eliminating option A. Let me read option C. Combine multiple small tasks to come out with stories that are consistent with the key objectives. Nowhere in the question we are talking about key objectives. So option C is eliminated. For me, still B stands best. Let me read the last option, which is D. Get the sprint backlog reprioritized to favor the smallest stories and reassign them daily. Nowhere in the question we are talking about stories. What is the problem here? The small tasks are not completed. By doing option B, we can make sure that in future these small tasks are getting completed. So option D is also eliminated. For this question, my pick would be option B. Let's do the last question, question number 15. During a meeting, your project sponsor presented the business case to the project's key stakeholders. The sponsor made a go decision for the project. What is the next step? So what I understood from the question, during a meeting, a project sponsor presented the business case to the project's key stakeholders and sponsor made a go decision. What is the next step? So simple. After the business case is made, what is the next step? Good. Let's read the options now. Option A, present the business case to all the stakeholders. Not necessarily, because sponsor is already made a go decision. We don't want to do option A. Not a good choice. Let me read option B, define the project management plan. No, this will happen at the time of planning, not at this point in time. So option B, it's also not a good choice. Let me read option C, appoint a product owner to the project. Yeah, we can do it. See, it's not a bad one, but let me read the last option, which is to create the project charter. This is an excellent choice. Once sponsor creates the business case, based on that, when the go decision is made, the next document gets created as project charter. Considering option D, I'm eliminating A, B, and C. For this question, my pick would be option D. So we came to the end of the video, and yes, we have completed practicing 15 questions. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. By the way, I'm very much interested to know how many questions you guys did right and how many questions you guys did wrong. Please let me know in the comment section how many questions you did right and how many questions you did wrong. And also, if you have any doubts on any of the questions that we practiced, please let me know in the comment section. I will be responding to each and every comment. And also, if you have liked the video, just smash the like button. So thank you so much for watching this video. By the way, if you guys have any queries related to PMP, don't hesitate to write me an email. My email ID is gautham.sudakar@eduhubspot.com that you are seeing on the screen. I will be giving my LinkedIn ID on the description of this particular video. Please be kind enough in sending the connection request. So let's get connected and let's help out each other. And also, I'm going to make another humble request. Please subscribe to our EduHubSpot channel so that moving forward, trust me, I will be coming up with a lot of PMP content related videos and you're gonna love it. So if you are subscribing our channel, you will get a notification. Thank you so much again. I will be soon meeting you all in another great video. Until then, bye. Take care.